Hello, dear friends and family. How are you? Well, I know it's very different. Welcome to Thought Leadership Series. My name is Beata Seweryn-Reid, and usually you can see me on Tuesdays with meaningful conversations. But today it's a different day, and I'm here with my special guest. And oh my gosh, can you imagine? I see him in person. Eric Cabrera. Do I pronounce it well?
That's correct.
Okay.
You said it perfectly.
Probably not, because, English is not my first language, so please forgive me. Anyway, please, whoever is watching us, let us know that we are live. Where are you from and how are you today? Why Thought Leadership Series? Because I believe that we all need more leadership skills on everyday basis. And I decided to go after and invite, and hoping that they're gonna accept my invitation, after leaders that I admire and that I believe that they are impacting this world. But why they are impacting this world? Because the story that they went through helped them to become who they are today. And again, Eric, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to see you, to see you, and to actually interview you. I'm so excited that I'm losing my voice. This morning I was like, oh my gosh, I have Eric, which is TV personality, multiple business owner, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, author. Oh my gosh, if I missed something, I apologize. Eric, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Cabrera. Really happy to be here, and I thank you for the invitation. It's truly an honor for me to be here with you. I love what you do, and will definitely recommend you, and I think everybody should continue watching.
Thank you so very
Absolutely.
much, Eric. So today we are here to talk about the power of mental wealth. Yeah. So my first question actually is, maybe not everyone knows, what is the power of mental? What is your definition of power of mental wealth?
Sure, and I really believe in understanding and knowing the value of your self-worth, and really what it is, it's your overall opinion of who you are and what you truly believe that you deserve.
Okay, so here I have to take our listeners and audience on the journey of your story a little bit. Are you okay with it?
Sure, absolutely.
So today we know that you are successful. You are, oh my gosh, you have couple businesses. You are very well known already in the industry. You inspire other leaders to step into their roles and lead. So I'm curious, is it how you started? You were born with that skills, or how was the young Eric?
Yeah, so I grew up in a very dysfunctional household, and there were a number of events that happened to me as a child. And really, to be honest with you, growing up, I had no self-worth. And oftentimes during my childhood, I was told that I was worthless. So the worst part about that is I believed it. And I truly, really did not see any value in myself. And when I was 12 years old, I had a defining moment. My dad had come home. I was eating dinner with my mom and brother, and I heard my dad pull up, and I threw my plate in the sink, and I was running up the stairs to avoid him in fear of what was to come. And I almost made it to the top of the steps, and he had called me down, and I froze for a second. By the time I turned around, he was already coming up after me, and he wound up, going through the process that we normally went through and pushed me down the stairs. And when I got to my feet, my ears were ringing so much, and my mother was standing in front of me, and I couldn't even hear what she was saying. And some unpleasurable thoughts went through my head about how to handle it. But at that moment, I decided to leave. And looking back, even though I didn't even have a pair of shoes on my feet, I didn't have a place to go home or anything, I left with a small amount of self-value because I chose me that day. I wasn't running away from my situation. I was actually running towards my future.
Can you send us a comment if you hear us? Yes, you are. Okay, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Okay, so
thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you so much. It's Christina.
Yep,
Christina, thank you so much. So I apologize, but
okay.
Again, this is life. You cannot fake in life. Life is life. We are here. And okay, so what you just said, you are 12 years old, left the house, the dysfunctional family, and you ran away, but basically you were not running away, but you are running towards towards what?
Towards my future. Towards a better life, something that I really didn't even realize at the time what I was doing. It took me years to figure out that I chose me that day, and not to stay in that situation and repeat that lifestyle, which normally happens to people.
Wow. Okay, so you are 12 years old. You are on the way. You said in your interview with Les Brown on his summit, you said that you didn't even have shoes on your foot. So what then? Where did you meet your future?
So I spent a little bit in an alley, sleeping outside. I learned what it's like to be cold, wet, and hungry, which, to me is an invaluable lesson. I find positives in all the negatives. And then I actually wound up living in a friend's basement. I lived there for almost 3 years before his mom ever found out.
Wow.
So I really purposely spent a lot of time outside and came in late and left early.
Wow. So for everyone listening to us right now, what are you doing with your life? Even, I'm not sure, maybe you are in similar circumstances, maybe a little bit different, but from what I hear, Eric found power inside of him to say no to the circumstances that were presented to him and choose himself and choose the future that I guess at that age you just imagined. Yeah.
I did. We all dream of owning a big house, nice cars, having a lot of money. And really those are just objects. And not having any of that stuff and really figuring out how I need to go ahead and achieve that, I learned a lot of lessons of how unimportant that stuff is, and that there's a lot more important stuff inside of you, and it's the people you surround yourself with. And during that time, from the age of 12 to about 17, I really surrounded myself with people who were going nowhere, and I was heading that exact same nowhere with them. And deep inside, I always knew that there was something better. And that caused a lot of frustration within myself because I wasn't doing what I knew I could do, but I kept repeating that same behavior, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. And oh my gosh, this is so deep. So you knew deep down, but you didn't have any authorities around you. And for some part of your life, you just followed the ones that you had. Yep. And it's what we do very often. We just don't know that there is something better. We feel it deep down, we feel it, but we just don't, because it's a decision, yes? Don't decide to follow it. So there was something very powerful what you said in one of your interviews when you were living on the street, or maybe you said in your friend's basement, that then we just said you decided that it's not where I want to be. And I'm going to quote you.
Okay.
I loved myself too much to become a victim.
Yeah. So looking at my past, I had the resume that would allow me to play the victim card. And But deep inside, I knew I was stronger. I didn't recognize the value of my self-worth, but I knew I had it in me. And then as time went on, I realized that the prerequisite to living a joyful life and understanding the value of your self-worth is knowing that it's okay to love yourself. A lot of people have this persona that they need to pretend that they're somebody that they're not. And then once you are willing to strip that away and look at who you are and who you want to be, then you can actually get to know yourself, which a lot of us, we're surrounded by so much action. I mean, in our phones, our computers, and there's so much negativity that we don't take time for ourselves to learn who we are and get to know ourselves. And once you get to know yourself, I promise you will fall in love with yourself and realize that you do have so much potential in you and that it is limitless and that you don't need to be a product of your environment, which I was. I want my environment to be a product of what I believe and what I stand for.
Did you hear it? He decided that he's not the product of his environment. How deep it is. How many of you, I did it also, I'm guilty as well, that when I had my accident and I was told that you won't be normal anymore, I lived believing that not normal for me at that time, it was that I'm not enough. I was living for a very long time that in this belief that I'm not enough. He chose in a very, very young age himself and self-love. Oh my gosh. And men talking about self-love, how many opinions out there are that, come on, you need to be tough. Men don't talk. You don't show feelings. And I'm so happy that you are here and you are showing all of us that man is just another human.
That's it.
And if you have 3 sons, yes?
Yes.
And can you imagine if you don't show them, how do they know?
Right. Right. And, a lot of things, and even going back to my childhood, you can look at the negatives and bear the burden of somebody else's issues, but you don't need to. Those are their issues. What happened to you or anybody in a negative situation is a byproduct of what they're going through. It's not your fault. You never did anything to deserve it. And you don't need to drag that with you. So I like to explain to my kids that they do have a choice to make. And that they do have value in themselves and that they can grow up to be strong men. I was a lieutenant for the fire department. I had a wonderful career there. But imagine coming back to the firehouse and crying or showing emotional in front of guys. Guys are too afraid to do that. But you need to strip that persona away. And really, once again, it comes down to your belief of who you are and what you deserve.
Wow. So who is Eric today?
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a very interesting question. I am definitely a devoted father. My kids are my absolute best friends. I absolutely adore them. And when I look at them and I look at my past, I find lessons in all the negatives. Mm-hmm. And when we start building a new me or a new us or a new you really have to take some time and look at your past, get quiet with yourself. But when you start to look at it, tell yourself beforehand, I'm going to find a positive in this. I'm going to find a lesson. And so many people look at, when starting something new, what do I do? What do I do? How about we look at what not to do? Mm-hmm. So sometimes that could be even more valuable than what do I need to do, because that will allow you not to make those same mistakes. So who am I? I'm a guy that went through some stuff, as a child, had a pretty rough story, but I turned that into a positive. And I learned those lessons of what not to do, and I really pour those into my kids. And then with building businesses, I put everybody first. Anybody that I'm dealing with, they're the reason why I'm building the business. The business is a byproduct. Mm. That's an after fact because I'm building it around the people.
Wow. That is so true. And I think my question, because you talk a lot about self-worth, mm-hmm. and you are successful and oh my gosh, yeah, I'm in like, wow, Eric, I want to have, I don't want to say I want to have life like you, but I want to be like you. So even with whatever past was for you, you decided I'm gonna succeed, because it was again a decision. So what do you think is your main strength that helps you to go through all of these experiences that you want your sons to not only learn but practice in life?
Right. Well, I don't believe in quitting, and because that's when you fail. If you look at any successful person in life, yeah, you might see them where they are right now, but that's surface level. So if you go back and dig deep or look at their history of where they started and where they're from, you will see tons and tons of mistakes. Every successful person has mistakes behind them. And I don't call them failures because they didn't stop. They persisted through that. So I don't believe in quitting, so that's when you fail. So I really like to instill in people that you do have the ability to do this. And just because you came across a hiccup or a speed bump, don't let it stop you. Don't let it steer you off your path. Remember why you're doing this and stay focused and really define what it is you want to achieve and stay with it. And look at all those speed bumps and learn from them, and that'll get you back on track.
Wow. So I love that you said about this speed bump, because it slows you down. And very often the high performance, as Eric is, and I know a couple others, they don't get upset. I mean, for a second, you might get upset. Shoot, why now?
Right.
But so what is your advice when the bump is there and you lose your patience? What do you do?
The best recommendation I could give is put it aside for a minute, gain your composure on it, and then go back and look at it. Then go back and evaluate it with a clear and open mind, and then figure out why did this happen, and then don't let it happen again.
Oh my goodness.
Because your anger will really distract you.
Oh, this is so important. I love it. I'm going to quote it. The anger is going to distract you. How many times in life we got distracted by anger about small stuff? Yes, because this morning the coffee wasn't maybe the best wherever you got it, or your wife or partner said something, or woke up in a deep, not good mood, and we just take it on. Some silly stuff. Oh my gosh, when I was driving to work back in the time, I was the most probably anxious driver, because when someone just cut me through or, stop and unexpectedly, and I almost hit them, I was like, what are you doing? You are crazy.
Right.
So, and I walk into my regular job with all this anxiety, and was talking to my coworkers about that, and what this energy was spreading around was not helping, for sure. So thank you for saying that.
Even just take that situation, your anger is there because they cut in front of you or stopped short, but look at the positive of it. There wasn't an accident. Nobody got hurt. You made it to work on time. So celebrate the good side of it. I
love what you said, but it's so easy to say when we are already when we are already there. I had to learn it. You learn it. So there is no recipe. There is only a suggestion or advice. How can we get this patience? How can we, like someone who is driving today and is getting upset with all this traffic, or maybe driving in LA, which I hear is not very exciting. So what would be the first step to getting this calm of mind, that you just are able to control your emotions?
Sure. Well, I believe it's the way you start your day.
Okay.
The first 20 minutes to a half hour is when your subconscious mind is the most active during your day. So do something that's going to set the tone for the day. Listen to something motivational or something uplifting. Read something. Go ahead and do some journaling. Write down what you're grateful for. Start your day off on a positive note. Don't wake up and say, man, I got to go race to work and I got to do that. Forget about all that for a second. Set your tone for the day, and that'll really open you up to see the bright side of things and opportunities that present themselves to you.
Wow, that is so great what you said, because it relates to my next question, which I prepared. Because
I don't know any of these, so I'm excited to hear
he
them.
doesn't. Yeah, he's on like hot seat. Yeah, it's what
Sure.
you say.
I enjoy it.
And come on, people, let us know how are you. Ask questions. We have the one and the only famous Eric Cabrera. And if I pronounce it not right.
No, you're saying it right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Say it.
Cabrera.
Oh, okay. Cabrera.
Yep, you're on it.
All right. So you just talk about opportunities, and it's always excites me because we can take on opportunity or we can wait for opportunity. And I'm going to quote you. And how do you feel about quoting when people are quoting you?
I'm interested to hear your version of it.
So you said the size of your life is the response to the opportunities you answered or not.
Yep. Yeah. And it's really how you respond to them. So when you're in a good place and you understand the value of your self-worth, a lot of people will see every opportunity and take them, or they're on the other side of the spectrum. They're scared, they live in fear, and they're worried about taking a chance on themselves because they're afraid they're going to fail. So really, once you understand the greatness that you have in you and the value of your self-worth, and that you can go ahead and achieve the desires of your heart, when an opportunity presents itself, you can respond to that one appropriately and take the ones that will improve your life and others, and be able to pass on the ones that won't.
Wow, that is deep. So what was is there, or maybe the other way, is there any opportunity, there was any opportunity in your life that you didn't take on? Or?
Sure. I've had, through the process of building businesses and just networking through people, there's been opportunities that seem great at the time and that would probably provide great experiences and that could be very lucrative. But is that right for me at the point? Is that right for my family at this time? So there's other things that you need to put first. Put yourself and your loved ones and the people around you first before the results of that opportunity. Just because you can go and make a couple $1 million here doesn't mean that's the right opportunity for you. You might be better off staying where you are, and there'll be a better opportunity that fits you, your family, and the people around you. Because the money is a tool. A lot of people chase it, and really it should be attracted, and it should be a byproduct of the good that you're doing.
Wow. Money is opportunity and should be attracted, not chased. Oh my gosh. Highlight it. Write it down. It's very important. So when we talk about opportunities, it just comes to me also the risk that you have to take with that. And I love what you said. Always ask yourself a question. Is this right for me, for my family, or whatever life you are living? But how about the risk that business, you run so many businesses, so this investment, I would call it risk to invest in you or your other business. So what does it take to take the risk? Do you take calculated risk? How does it work?
Well, and sometimes you don't, and it goes back to opportunity. Sometimes there is a great opportunity and you don't know how it's going to work, but you have that gut feeling inside of you that it will work and that you will make it work. So you take that and kind of figure it out along the way. So with calculated risks and playing it safe can be dangerous a lot of times because you're operating within those guidelines, and you can set yourself up just to go down that path and not realize other opportunities within that opportunity that will be able to build and boost it up. Like right now, I'm opening up a health club here in the Springs, and one of the worst economic and social times ever. And it's a gathering place. So a lot of people are like, you're crazy. Gyms are shut down and you're in the middle of building one. Well, yeah, because I can see through this. I don't allow my subconscious mind to speak doubt over my thoughts. I actually look at what's presented in front of me, the possible opportunities and where it can go down the road. You can't look at what's in front of you and what's going to happen in 5 minutes. You need to look past that and see how it's going to affect you in the future and who you can bring with you and build them up as well.
Wow, I love what you just said, because it also tells me, it's actually take like a circle to when you said when you were this 12 years old and you decided to live different life, and you were focused on the future, not what is.
Right.
So I love this saying, your current circumstances or current situation is not your destination. So you have bigger vision, and it's what you also do for your current life and for your business, for your family, and you calculate, okay, is that right or not? And then you say you trust your gut feeling. Well, I think we are so afraid to trust our gut feelings many times that we just stay in indecision.
And a lot of it has to do with the conscious mind, because in that moment you're like, oh my, I want to go into business for myself. This will be a great opportunity. I want to take my family here. I want to do this. And then boom, instantly your subconscious mind, like we just mentioned, speaks doubt over your thoughts. And you kind of got to get them to work in line with each other. And where that comes from is understanding the power that you have inside of you. And when you start speaking stuff, we've said it before, there's so much power in the spoken word. There's so much power in your voice that the second you open your mouth and you speak doubt over it, that's what you're going to believe. Wow. So if you look at that and say, this is a great opportunity, I'm not going to allow my subconscious mind to steer me away from this. I'm going to research a little bit more and see if this is really going to be a great thing for the people around me. And like I said, you got to take the financial part's important, but that's a byproduct of the good that you do.
Wow, there are so many lessons in this chat that I had to go back and actually write it down. And I love what you said about taking risk, trusting yourself, and looking in the future and playing small. That I think Mary Williamson said, you playing small is not helping the world.
No. And a lot of times the way the majority of people think is small-minded. And I don't mean that negatively at all, but that's where you dive into mediocrity. And the competition in mediocrity is so fierce because everybody's fighting for the same thing. So everybody's doing the same thing for the same goal. And that's why they say the top 1%, because a lot of people are stuck in mediocrity and they're afraid to go up because they're afraid to take a chance on themselves. They don't recognize that they can bring value and that they can actually create something that's going to be amazing for other people and get out of mediocrity, because that population is huge and the competition is fierce.
Wow, that is amazing. And before we started this conversation, we talked a little bit about your life, and it just confirms what you said, that when you were still in different career, because, well, I don't know if you know that he used to be a firefighter. Like, come on. At the same time, building businesses, building the future for himself and for his family. And it's what you said. I was not doing it because of the money, but because I love the people that you were cooperating with and working with. So how amazing is that? And I can see it. I can feel it. Like, there's so much great energy in him and this desire to support and help others that you can just feel it. You don't have to ask, or you just know who Eric is. And I'm so happy that you are kind of part of my life now.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's very important to have leaders in your life that you look up to. And I look up to people like him because sometimes I have doubts. Sometimes I even doubt my own gut, like you said, my own feeling. Sure. Oh, should I risk that investment? Should I do that? Like, even joining the Les Brown community, I was like, I don't know. But
huge for you.
Yes. And if I wouldn't, I would never meet Eric, I would never meet other people, and these opportunities that are coming to me, even interviewing person like him, it's just, you cannot put price on it. So now I want to go to a little bit different side of our conversation.
Okay.
What makes you laugh?
What makes me laugh? My kids, because they're an absolute riot. And I like shows like Seinfeld, kind of everyday mindless humor. The small bit of time I actually get to do, maybe sit down and watch a show or something. That's the kind of stuff that I like. I like jokes about real life. And honestly, I laugh at myself more than I laugh at anybody else, because let me tell you, I've had a level of success. And to go back to what we were just saying, everybody has leaders in their life that they want to emulate. And that's so important for people to understand. Nobody does this on their own. Any successful person should be able to tell you that they had a lot of good people around them. So I make mistakes all the time, and I laugh at myself all the time. You can't take yourself too serious.
You can't take yourself too serious. And Dolly, thank you for being here with us. Thank you so very much. Yes, we are leaders and we want to inspire. And I believe we do inspire. Ben, thank you so much also for being here with us. Love this. We love you too. Christina, thanks, Eric. Yes, always see the half full part of the glass. Do you believe in a glass half full or half empty?
I believe my glass is always full, because and it goes back to spending time on yourself and getting to know yourself. Because if you don't fill yourself up, if you really don't, and it's on so many levels, spiritually, inspirationally, or even business-wise, I'm constantly learning. I'm always reading. I'm always trying to do stuff to improve myself. And my focus behind that is for the people around me. So my glass, I try to always keep it full so I can overflow and pour into people. That's really where I want to go, because in relationships, and going back to leaderships, I have mentors. I have counsel that I seek when there's big business decisions and I want to make a choice. I run it by people. And it's kind of like a seesaw relationship. So they mentor me and bring me up, and then I slowly come up with them and maybe seek another path. And then I look at how can I bring them up with me. And it's so you go back and forth, and you really need to be able to pour into people, because a lot of people, everybody's heard that saying, knowledge is power. Well, it's not. If you keep it inside and just say, oh, I know this, that doesn't make you better than anybody. Be humble enough to share it. Be willing to share it, because implementation of knowledge is powerful. And that's what will really move you and the people around you.
Implementation of knowledge is powerful. Write it down. And please give us high five if you agree with us. So 5 is for high five, which I discovered recently. So please put in comments 5. And yeah, yes, overflow first, Dolly said. Oh my gosh, that's so true. And I hear the other version of a glass half full or half empty, that it really doesn't matter. That what's matter is how heavy it is and how, because of the length of carrying it. So then it goes to how much you take care of yourself, so you are not, the glass is not too heavy. Doesn't matter if it's half full or empty, because maybe you are empty.
Right. And just thinking of, as you were saying that, a thought came to mind is, what are you filling your glass with?
Oh my gosh,
that's so true. Positive stuff, or are you stuck looking at news and all the negative stuff that's out there? So fill your glass up with positive stuff, whether it's a drop or you're overflowing, at least you're heading in the right direction.
That is so true. Look what wisdom we have here today. And Seweryn-Reid said 5, 5, 5, 5. Yes, 5, 5, 5. Thank you so much, Ben. Yes, that's so true. And so today, ask yourself, what do you fill your glass with? And it doesn't matter if you are a top leader or you are just starting. Yes, we have to do the same.
Right. And you know, nobody's better than anybody else. People are just they're people and they're just doing different things. So when you look at somebody that's a leader, maybe they got a title of CFO or COO or some kind of initials after their name, that's exactly what it is. It's just a bunch of initials. It's a position they hold. It's not necessarily who they are. So anybody that's you might look up to what they're doing and why they're doing it. It's not necessarily that person.
Wow. And it's so true. I've seen a quote, but I don't remember who said that the title doesn't give you the leadership position. It's the way how you treat people. And like you just said, are you uplift them or do you put them down? And I'm sure many of us who work for someone else, we experience leaders and bosses, because I call them bosses. Boss is someone to me as saying, I'm right, and don't even discuss it.
Right. And you have to treat people with an open mind. And when I was a lieutenant for the fire department, I always looked at things in 3 ways. Was, hey, did you come to work and think, what's the dumbest thing I could do today? Well, congratulations, you did it. And there's going to be actions that need to happen. Or did you do the wrong thing for the right reason? Like if you can justify what you do and present that in an appropriate manner, then you should get support from your leadership because you're providing value and validation. Or did you do the right thing and us as a business are doing it wrong? Maybe we need to evaluate what we're doing. So you really need to be humble enough. And as you get higher in business, higher in companies, or whatever you're doing, building your own businesses, you need to be able to strip that away and look at what you're doing and take advice from the people that work for you, because they're going to see stuff on a different level that you do.
A lot of wisdom again. So as Cabrera said, great question. Thank you, Eric. I'm going to keep the question in mind all through the weekend. See, if it's the only reason why we have this conversation,
I'm happy.
I think it's worth it. And like you said before, is that whatever you do throughout your week, day, life, is it right for you? And I think we can also say, is it worth it?
Yep.
Wherever you are. And okay, so we are gonna go almost to close that conversation. So I have to hurry up with another question. Well, so is there something, situation or a person in your life that you feel that it was the most meaningful conversation you ever had?
Wow, that's an awesome question. So yeah, with my childhood, my dad was the one who was abusive to me. And the reason why I left home. And it was about 3.5, 4 years ago, I got a phone call from my aunt saying my father had a stroke and he was in the hospital. He was on life support. So I got on a plane and flew to where he was, and I talked to him for almost 2 hours. And because I was able to come to where I am right now in my life, I sat with him and I talked to him, and I truly forgave him for everything that happened. And I was able to thank him for all the lessons he taught me, even though they were lessons of what not to do. And that it wasn't a backhanded thank you. It was a genuine thank you, because I wouldn't recognize that. And I could have potentially followed his path. Wow. So for me to get where I was and able to forgive him and have that conversation, I was able to call the doctor in, take him off life support, and I held his hand until he took his last breath. And I was able to do that because of the place where I'm at. Wow,
this is so amazing. Forgiveness, it's very difficult, but oh my gosh, especially after what you went through. Forgiveness is difficult, but it's the key to free yourself.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You don't need to bear the burdens of somebody else's issues.
I don't remember exactly what Les Brown, he teaches us about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about not remembering. Yes. Right. He said, but I forgot second.
I forget how that guy
Dolly says, help us if you
that guy
remember.
Says so much. I mean, how do you keep track of him?
It's not about the remembering, but something about freeing yourself. Oh my gosh.
It really is. I mean, bearing that strife and that anger and carrying it with you it's so heavy, and it really, it slows you down, and just, it prevents you from seeing so much, and you're worth so much more than that situation. And that's why you really need to be able to say thank you and look at it from a positive standpoint, and in your mind really appreciate those situations for what they are, not for who it came from or why it happened, but find a lesson in it.
Wow, this is deep again, because when I think about my life and what you said,
which is amazing, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I think the forgiveness that I have to do, it was forgiving myself that I had no power over some situations, that I let myself to be a victim for a very long time of the situations and the circumstances of life. And I think it was the most freeing, like you said, because, we do what we can with what we have at the time of whatever is happening. And sometimes it's challenging, really challenging, but letting yourself permission to let it go, it's freeing. And look at
it truly, I mean, you can't say it any better. It really is. It'll give you a whole new outlook and view on life and what you are able to accomplish through it.
But I think also looking at you, it was such a heavy topic in your life, heavy emotions, and letting this go, I think it helped you also to spread the wings in your business.
It really has. Because it teaches you patience, compassion, and the willingness to, like you said, give yourself permission to let it go, and not just take that situation for face value, but what can we provide and build off of.
Wow. I think it takes me back a little bit to where we started, the power of mental wealth. And you said, you stress so much the self-worth part, and
it's huge.
It's huge. That's why my question is how the self-worth is related to business, to success, and achieving and creating the life we really want.
Yeah, so a lot, and it comes to that automatic doubt that we have. And we do that because we truly might not love ourselves enough to know that we can accomplish it. There are so many things out there for you that you don't even see yet because they're coming to you in the future. And so you need to be open enough and understand that I can do this. I will do it. It's not I might do it or maybe I can. No, you can and you will, and you should. There's no question about it. You can't waver. You can't be in the middle, because you're going to teeter back and forth from either side and you won't get anywhere. You'll just stay pretty much right where you are. The situation might change a little bit, but you're not going to progress through life. So really know that you are worth it, that you can achieve it. And your mindset needs to be that you will accomplish it, that there is no question. Like I said, I'm opening up a gym in the worst financial and social time in history. I mean, compared to the Great Depression, people worked together then. Now we're divided. So it's the worst time. But you know what? I am telling you, it's going to be successful. And I'm not saying it in a cocky way. I'm saying it because I understand that I'm going to bring value to people's lives, that I'm going to impact them in a positive way, that I am going to allow them to perform better in their personal and professional life. They will be healthy and they will be able to live longer and enjoy what it is they're working so hard for to provide to their loved ones. So that's why I know that my why is strong enough that we will get through this and it will be successful. And like I said, cockiness and confidence is a very, very fine line. So I say that with nothing but confidence, because I truly, truly know that it will be successful. And I declare things. I write them down. I really, really believe everything that I write down and I say it to bring power to it.
That is so powerful. What is your why in your life? It's so strong, yes? Your why is can take you far or keep you stuck.
Exactly. And, I used to tell myself, I'm the who that does the what for my why. So who am I as a person? Who do I need to be? And what do I need to do for my why. So knowing your why and the results that you want, so important.
Wow. There is, again, so deep, so many wisdom. And we have all these great comments here, golden nuggets, great questions. Thank you so much, Dolly. Thank you, Ben, for being here with us. We can feel the truth. Thank you so much, Dolly.
Thank you,
all
Donna.
right. So almost the last question. What is one advice that you would leave our audience with that would help them succeed in business and in life that works for you?
So one bit of advice that I would give: make decisions that when you go to bed at night, you can still look at yourself in the mirror. Don't do something because it might benefit you in the moment. Do it because, and once again, keep your why in the forefront. Keep your goals and why you're doing everything, and use that as motivation, but do it in a positive light, and consider not just yourself, but the people around you and how your decisions are going to affect them. So this way you can go to bed at night when you're brushing your teeth, you can still look at yourself in the mirror. So don't do anything that would deviate from having a clear conscience.
So amazing, so deep. Listen to that again, write it down. Mirror is the place where you see the truth about yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, I promise. The last question: where we can find you? Where people who would love to get you know more and what you do and how you can help them, where they can find you?
Sure. The best place is really Instagram. Even everything I post through Instagram and goes to Facebook. Okay. So they can reach me on my Instagram, and I hate my Instagram handle, but it was the only one I could find with my name in it and not the alphabet and 32 numbers behind it. So it's _Eric_Cabrera, just like you see on the screen.
Yes, like you see on the screen. And I totally get you, because mine is also with some dot and underscore because I couldn't get another one. So again, well, Facebook is the good place as well, because sure. I know that you are there, but Instagram is his home. And yes, just go and check. He has so many inspiring videos, and you can see what is he up to with his new projects. And if you are in Colorado Springs, definitely check his new gym, because it's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, I forgot almost. Your book is coming.
Yeah.
When is it?
November. It'll be out.
Okay, and the title is exactly what we are talking about. Yep. Yes.
The Power of Mental Wealth.
The Power of Mental Wealth. So if someone wants to pre-order, or they just contact you?
I'll tell you what. Why don't the first 5 people to share or comment, I'll get with you and we'll send them a copy.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know about that surprise.
Sure.
I told you that it's gonna be different today. First of all, we are in person. Now he's giving this awesome gift to you. Let's see. So if whoever, yes, is it yes for the book, or you have to comment and you're gonna get yes.
And share.
Share, yes, you have to share that.
You got to share what she's doing, because it's amazing.
And what he is doing, because we are here together. All right. So thank you so very much. Again, say yes.
Sure.
Say yes for the book if you want to
say yes to yourself.
And say book. And someone said Power of Mental Health. Yes, so Dolly is getting one book, I guess. And you need to still share it. Check his website on Instagram, send a message.
Sure.
You know, this is funny. I have to share it, because he said, would you like to do it in person? And I was like, oh, Eric, the star, like this, someone who I look up to, he wants to come to my house and have this conversation. I was so I was kind of scared. But he said, and I shared that with him, and he said, I'm just like everyone else. I was like, oh my gosh, that is the leader that I would love to follow, because he is just like everybody else, caring and sharing, because he shares with all of us. He shared today a lot of wisdom. So please, 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 you never know who is in need of hearing that today. So share it. And thank you so much, Eric, for being here with me for this wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
And I hope we will meet again and have another one.
Absolutely. I was excited to do this. I was on the set this morning and I was so excited to come here because this is my first podcast. So super excited for me. And
what an honor.
What a blast. It was an absolute honor and a blessing to me to be here.
Oh my gosh. Thank you everyone who is watching us. Ben, Seweryn-Reid, Dolly, Christina, and everyone else who is gonna watch us. Say replay and share. Remember, share, because people needs to hear that message today. And I want to leave you and to say thank you to you with that quote that I think summarizes your life. That we are, and you said it, we are not products of our circumstances. We are products of our choices. It's by Stephen Covey. The greatest product of his choices is sitting here up front of you today. So contact him. He is going to help you if you need it. He's coach as well. So if you need a hand, Eric is for you.
More than happy.
Thank you so very much, everyone out there. Thank you again. And see you next time, because I'm not leaving anywhere. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.